Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Finally here again. So today's video is about building on a budget or the project without EX. So basically today's deck is going to be Zoroark Dragalage, as you can see in front of you. So the Dragalage is a breakpoint stage 1 Pokemon who actually evolves from the Skrelp. And basically with Dragalage, you can put with that certain poison 4 damage counters to your opponent active Pokemon between turns. And the good thing about that is actually the height from the Skrelp, because with the Shroud of Memories in play, which actually says that you can use the previously evolved Pokemon attacks, you can easily, for example, flip a coin after you use the poison, and if you get heads and if you get lucky, you can easily prevent your opponent from attacking you, which is pretty amazing. And later you can just easily came with the Zoroark Mind Jack for the bigger damage output, basically, that you can make, because Mind Jack can actually hit for 10 plus 30 more for each of your opponent banished Pokemon in play, which is pretty fantastic in my opinion. And of course, I'm running 2 copies of Auxiliaries just for the Beazle hand, so I can get that additional draw support. So the best thing about this deck is that we can actually take a lot of different cards. So I was definitely looking forward how to make this deck playable, so it can actually be playable and pretty decent for the budget. So I decided to run 4 copies of Crushing Hammers and 1 Enhanced Hammer. The reason why I just run 1 Enhanced Hammer is just also because I'm running 4 copies of Puzzle of Time. So basically with the 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, I'm going to be able, with 2 copies of Puzzle of Time, at the same time grab pretty much any 2 cards from my discard pile. So I can, in theory, disrupt like 10 energies from play. 8 just regular and 2 special energies with my Puzzle of Times. And that's just amazing. And on the other side, I also have the Team Flare Grunt, which can help me to discard active energy from my opponent, active Pokemon. So let's say he have Giratina with 2 Chaos, with 2 Double Dragon energies for that Chaos Wheel. I can easily use Team Flare Grunt and, for example, Enhance Hammer and disrupt 2 energies, just like that from play. And plus that, put 4 damage counters and a poison mark on my opponent, an active Pokemon, which is just amazing in my opinion. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's not something super super strong, but it's pretty decent and it's pretty interesting to play with it just for a casual play and a fun. But of course, it's also competitive. That's the most important thing about this build. Also, 2 copies of Level Ball will provide you the opportunity to grab pretty much any under 90 HP Pokemon you really like. So basically, we can grab Zorua, Skrelp, Remoraid, and Octillery, which is very important since I'm not running Shamans. I really need to have that Octillery as soon as possible. And I also didn't take Wally in this build because I don't have 4 Trainers Mails. I mean, I do have Puzzle of Times and 3 Trainers Mails, but I don't know. I just think like, well, Wally just for that turn would be good. But on the other side, I'd better decide to go with the Giovanni skin because sometimes I might will need 20 more damage with my Zoroark, so I can actually stand in and Mind Jack for like a 50, 70, 100, 20 more, whatever I need, basically to be able to one-hit knock on my opponent. And this is the reason why I actually decided to go with 1 Giovanni scheme. And also it can give me the 5 cards, draw until I have 5 cards in my hand, so I think it's a little bit better for this than the Wally. And of course, I'm running, as I mentioned, 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, 1 Super Road, 3 copies of Trainer's Mail, so basically I can grab any trainer card from the top 4 cards, 4 Ultra Balls, 4 V Seekers. From supporter cards, 1 Giovanni scheme, as I mentioned it, pretty damn good card to increase the damage for 20. 1 Hex Maniac, so just in case I'm running against those annoying Greninja breaks, I can have a decent chance maybe to shut down his abilities. There's abilities, but unfortunately, I guess against Greninja break I will have a very, very hard time. I mean, just because I decide to go with additional attack like a Zoroark, but if I have, for example, maybe, let's say, I don't know, Garbodor in this build, then a whole different story would happen. But with the Garbodor in play, I wouldn't be able to run Octillery, and in that case, this deck wouldn't be non-EX deck, since I will need, like, for the setup and basically to expand my bench as Shamans. 1 copy of Lysander, 2 copies of M, and 4 Professor Sycamore. Unfortunately, only 7 possible draw supporter cards, which is, I guess, not good, not bad, but somewhere in the middle. One copy of Team Flare Grant, of course, so I can discard any energy attached to my opponent active Pokemon. Very important, 3 copies of Shrine of Memories, 2 Floatstone, 10 energies, 8 energies actually in total, 4 double cores and 4 psychic energies. The card that I would like to tag, but I didn't actually find the space to fit it, was actually a Delinquent. I can always cut one of my Crushing Hammers, but I really want to have that energy advantage against my opponent. This is the most important thing, actually. So basically the cards in my looking forward maybe to tag should definitely be maybe one Wally and Delinquent. So you can definitely pick between maybe discarding Hex Maniac or Giovanni's Skin. So yeah, pretty much that's the deck list. If you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on CCGCastle.com. You can also get a link in my video description, so definitely check that. And also, if you have any cards for sale, you can also sell them from now on. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see how this deck will work in action. So see you in the game. Alright guys, would you like to go first? Why not? So let's see the opening hand right here. So there's a Skrelp and the Remoraid. I guess I'm going to put Remoraid on the bench, and I'm hoping to get something better with my Trainer's Mail. Maybe one Ultra Ball or Level Ball might not be that bad. Seeing 3 Professor Sycamore in opening hand is just like blowing my mind. Oh my gosh. Okay, Trainer's Mail is gonna be for a Level Ball, and Level Ball it's gonna be for like let's see, maybe Zoroark. Probably he's not going to be able to knock me out turn 1. So I need to take a look on some other cards. I have 3 Puzzle of Times, 3 Crushing Hammers. Okay, so let's grab Zoroark, put it on the bench. Let's go with the piece of puzzle to see the top 3 cards at the deck. Okay, so it's going to be Ultra Ball, Crushing Hammer. Okay, so I'm going to pass my turn right here without playing actually a Sycamore, just because of the purpose to use that Crushing Hammer, because if you can find some Max Elixirs, maybe even Double Dragon Energy, I can easily disrupt that energy with my Crushing Hammer, and this is definitely going to be very, very important right here. If I can get a turn discarding his energy card, I'm definitely happy. And of course, knowing that Ultra Ball is a tap deck, I can Ultra Ball for Artillery, use a Beazle hand, maybe even try to find the Double Course Energy Zoroark, maybe even Dragalage. He decided to pick 1 energy on his active Darkrai, and I really like that, especially if I can get heads. So he might not be able to retreat for a decent time. Of course, always with the Floatstone you can get opportunity to retreat. There's a Trainer's Mail. There's a Trainer's Mail, and Trainer's Mail for the Floatstone, so I guess he will put that Floatstone on the Trubbish. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe even on the Darkrai, but he decided to go with a Trubbish. I really hate that Escape Rope. Okay, I'll put my Zorua in the active. Right now he can find a Max Elixir, and with the Max Elixir he can get energy, and with the energy he can go for the 60 and knock out my Zorua. And luckily he didn't find energy with the Max Elixir, so that is not gonna happen. Darkrai is back in the active, and it's my turn. So he managed to pull pretty bad turn 1. So he had actually opportunity to knock out my Zorua, but he was not able to get that Max Elixir energy card. So right now I'm looking to take that Artillery, play my Beazle hand, drop cards until I have 5, which is going to happen right now. And there's another Skrelp, and there's a Crushing Hammer sitting in my hand. And right now at least I managed to get heads. So energy discarded, Sycamore for 7. There is a Zoroark, and basically I'm looking forward for 2 cards. The one of them is gonna be Ultra Ball, and the second one is gonna be Floatstone maybe? Wow, you gotta be kidding me, I managed to pull both of them. So actually this turn is gonna be pretty big. So Ultra Ball for the Hex and the Crushing Hammer. For that, oh, okay, it shouldn't be Crushing Hammer, it should be N, because I totally forget about artillery, but I didn't want to take a risk, actually, to be honest, because of the Garbodor maybe hits the ground, and in that case I wouldn't be able to draw some extra cards. So Severn, Poison, 4 damage counters, and let's go. Okay, so 40 damage, and a Force Darkrai will take 4 more damage counters at the end of my opponent's turn, so he just passes his turn. And there's another Skrelp, which means that I will Abyssal Hand for like a 4. There we go. There's a Lysander. Shrine of Memory is not going to be a bad thing. Professor Sycamore is not going to be a bad thing. Hitting double Core's energy, it's going to be 30, 60, 70. It's going to be enough for the knockout, actually. So I don't see the reason why I wouldn't just Mind Jack and knock out his Darkrai right here. So 70, which is 150 and 40 from the poison, is going to be enough for the knockout. So a level ball and another piece, another double Core's energy actually, another piece of puzzle. But okay, at least he cannot attack, because right now he does not have attacker. Since I have V-Seeker sitting in my hand, I can try to get maybe a Lysander. Lysandering his Shaman on the bench, but he definitely have very, very bad cards at this moment in his hand. So let's go with the Ultra Ball for a Super Road and double Core's energy to grab that another Dragalage, put it into play. Maybe even another level ball, so I can grab another artillery. I don't have it. Abyssal Hand. Okay, so V-Seeker definitely. Trubbish is 70, I can hit for like a 40, I can hit for 60 maximum. So I guess I'm going to Lysander Shaman better, retreat, and poison him so he can get 4 damage counters, and he's gonna be forced to retreat, basically, on the next turn, and maybe to Trubbish, but who knows at the end what he can top deck. He's still looking forward for that supporter card, but he cannot find any of them, and I have actually pretty decent. Okay, so right now he managed to find a Shaman for like a 3, and I'm down to 12 cards. Only 12 cards, but luckily I have 2 pieces of puzzle sitting in my hand, so I can grab any 2 cards from my discard pile, and I can easily grab 2 copies of Crushing Hammer. There we go with the N, which means that I will grab 4 new cards. Okay, not bad. Another Flowstone, Shrine of Memories, and 2 pieces of puzzles. There's a Trainer's Mail for him. Let's see if he can find maybe another Darkrai, Giratina, whatever he needs. I think that was a Teamfire Grunt, but not 100% sure. Maybe Darkrai. Okay. Good, good. Energy card. Okay. But what he's going to do next? If he retreat down to Trubbish, I'm going to be able to knock him out. On the other side, I can hit with the Mind Jack for like a 90. Yeah, I guess I can go. Okay, there's a Fighting Fury Belt, but none of the Shaman. I can go with the Mind Jack for the 90, and with Giovanni Scheme, it can be 20 more. So Crushing Hammer, no sign of the. Okay, Floatstone, 2 pieces of puzzles for Giovanni Scheme. And the Crushing Hammer, or I can take the risk by grabbing 2 Crushing Hammers. No, let's just go with 1 Giovanni Scheme. Better. It's better. It's much better. I guess if I hit heads, I will have a dead card in my hand, but I didn't. So I'm going to use my Giovanni Scheme right here, add 20 damage. Abyssal Hand for like a 4, and I'm going to get. Okay, I managed to get actually V-Seeker, but never mind. Stand in for the Mind Jack. Mind Jack for the knockout. So 120 And I'm going to take 2 more prize cards, which means only next turn Lysander for Shaman for the GG. So I can easily do that. I don't need to worry because I have Artillery right now in play. But of course, if he finds a Garbodor and cut down my ability, I'm not going to be able to use a Beazle Hand in case he hand me down 2 cards. This might be a little tricky. But at least I managed to find another Zoroark for that Zoroark additionally. And that's going to be very important. And I think that game actually frozen right here. Oh, luckily it didn't. So, Beast Seeker, Mind Jack for like 70, exactly enough damage to knock out Shaman. So I don't need to worry too much. He needs to power up his Darkrai. He can hit maximum for like a 90 if he can find Max Elixir Energy card. 2 Max Elixirs and energy from his hand is what he's looking for. Or maybe energy, or maybe Max Elixir and Giratina with Double Dragon Energy. So even that, it's not excluded. Okay, so right now he managed to get energy, which means that he can use Dark Pulse for like a 70, but still short for 30. And there's an Ultra Ball. I wouldn't be surprised to see Giratina, maybe even Hoopa. Okay, Trainer's Mail and Fighting Fury Belt. If you discard the Trainer's Mail and Fighting Fury Belt, that means only one thing: you don't have another Shaman in your deck. Because if you have, you would probably play those item cards. And there's a Giratina. Okay, so can he get that very important energy card and put it basically on Giratina? Yes, there's a double Dragon Energy. It's going to be 110. It's going to be a knockout. And that's very important knockout right there. But at least I can put the poison on his Darkrai and actually force him to maybe at some point of the game retreat his Darkrai from the active position. So right now I will put another Zorua down and that double Colress energy. But more than that, how many pieces of puzzles? I played 3 pieces of puzzles. That means that I have 1 useless card sitting in my hand. So let's go with a piece of puzzle. And there is a Beast Seeker, Enhanced Hammer, and a double Colress energy. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to Beast Seeker for the Lysander, and I will try to Lysander his Giratina. I will Beazle Hand for like 2 cards. Since I know that the top deck is Enhanced Hammer, I can easily remove that energy, promote my Dragalage in the active, and use my poison, put 4 damage counters in his Giratina. So without Floatstone, he's not going to be able to retreat. If he can find Escape Rope or the Floatstone, he can retreat his Giratina. But if he cannot find that, I can Ultra Ball next turn for the Zoroark and basically knock out his Giratina for the game. So there's another Max Elixir. And the good thing is that even if he managed to attach energy, I can Beast Seeker for Team Flare Grind. So that's very, very important thing. So 3 energies attached on the Darkrai, and there's a Max Elixir, so will there be maybe 1 more energy? Probably. 3 energies in the trash or in the discard pile. 3 in play, so right now he has 4 in play. That's like a 90 damage with his Dark Pulse, but still not enough to knock out. And there's a V-Seeker for Sycamore. Okay. So that means that he also discarded 1 energy from his hand. Can he find the very needed Floatstone? I hope he will not be able. A theme. Oh, that's the Fighting Fury Belt. That's basically a game right here. I think it is. I think actually it is. There's 1 Ultra Ball. It's going to be Ultra Ball for, of course, a Garbodor, so he can shut down my ability. I can spell that. But I know what I'm going to do next. V-Seeker for Team Flare Grant, and basically disrupt his Double Dragon Energy, and he's not going to be able to retreat. No way. Can he get that Garbodor? Yes, he can. So, 4 more turns. No, actually 3 more turns. This game is over. If he's not going to be able to retreat. At the end of my turn, he will have 120. At the end of his, 160. At the end of my... Okay. So he might be able somehow to retreat right here. I'm going to use my Ultra Ball just to see if I have that Zoroark in play. And yes, the answer on my question is yes, I do have. If I use my Mind Jack, it's gonna be Mind Jack for how many? 180. Yes, it's GG. It's basically a game right here. So all I really need is to retreat. Let's go. Retreat, Giovanni Scheme for extra 20 damage. And Mind Jack. It's gonna be powerful Mind Jack for like 120 and 40 from the poison, which means that his Giratina is knock it out. So pretty interesting game to watch. Unfortunately, he was not able to draw good at the beginning of the game, but I actually managed to win, so GG. Alright guys, one more quick game right here. So Zorua for the active one, and I'm happy with my hand. Definitely Ultra Ball, Team Fairground, V-Seeker, Trainer's Mail, so I have a lot of different possibilities right here. So definitely need to see what's on the Volcanion on the other side. Is going to be very hard to beat Volcanion, but I'm not going to give up. Oh, oh. A very bad hand for my opponent means only one thing, Ultra Ball for Remoraid. Let's put the Remoraid in the active position as fast as I can. A Trainer's Mail, might be good, might not. Okay, there's a Lysander. So I guess I can Ultra Ball next turn for Artillery. And I can have Zoroark and a Beazle hand, but I might even lost my Zorua in the active position, so... Okay, Ultra Ball right now probably was a top deck. Okay, so he had Ultra Ball on turn 1 and didn't play Ultra Ball maybe for Shaymin EX, or even better for Hoopa. This means only one thing, that I'm going to lose my Zorua right here, no doubt about that. And at least I will have only Ultra Ball for Artillery. Maybe Lysander to buy a time on the Hoopa. But that's pretty much it. I didn't draw good right here. I didn't draw well, but still, if he's not going to be able to find two fire energies, he might not be able to knock at my Zorua. And I hope that's not going to happen. I hope that he will not be able to draw two energies right here, so my Zorua can actually survive. So I can use my Mind Jack and maybe even knock out Shaymin for two prize cards, which is going to be very important. Very important. If I can grab two prize cards advantage, I guess I can maybe even win the game. So there's one energy. Will there be one for the steam up? I'm still not looking at the energies. No, there's a steam up. So, okay, nothing from my Zoroark. I'm going to lose my Zorua right here, and I will not have a tackle for the next turn, which is very scary. There's another Fighting Fury Belt. And Power Heater for like a 60, and not for the knockout. One energy probably going to be placed on a Volcanion EX. And my turn. So since my... Oh, nice. At least Level Ball is a top deck. And I can Level Ball in Zorua. Or I can Level Ball into Skrell because I don't have... I can Level Ball in Artillery and use Ultra Ball. Let's do this. Lysander on Hoopa. A Beazle hand for 2. Then I can try Ultra Ball for Zoroark. I know that I'm throwing too many resources right here, but I'm taking a risk. Because it's very difficult at this moment, especially because I didn't draw good, and on the other side I'm playing against Volcanion, so discarding energy is probably not be that good option because he can easily remove them back. So there's a big floatstone, which means that he might be able to Power Heater again, maybe even Steam Up for knockout, but hopefully that's not going to happen. There is the first Steam Up. Will there be one more Steam Up? I hope there is not going to be another Steam Up. If there's another steam up, then it's a GG, but since it's not, I can hit for 160, he is 170, so not going to be enough for the knockout, but at least I can maybe try to Lysander on the bench. First, of course, Zoroark. The second one is to find a way to get Floatstone. Yeah, right. With Giovanni's scheme, I have opportunity to knock him out. So, I'm going to take a risk. 20 more damage. Come on, give me that double chorus energy. Give me that double chorus energy for the knockout. Yes, there's a double chorus energy. And one crushing hammer. And I will disrupt one energy from his Volcanion on the bench. Retreat. Actually, will not retreat. We'll stand in and Mind Jack for 180. And it's enough for the knockout. That's the most important thing. It's enough for the knockout. And right now, only Zoroark fighting alone. But at least I have 3 copies of Beast Seeker sitting in my hand, which means that I can try to Lysander his Volcanion on the bench without energy cards for 2 prizes. I can even try to, after that, knock out his Shaman, so I will need to take 1 prize only, which can be against his Volcanion, and he didn't get nothing again, which means that I will put Shrine of Memories in play, and V-Seeker for a Lysander, and basically it will be a Lysander and Shaman right now for 2 prizes, and I'm looking forward for that Abyssal Hand. Ultra Ball. And a piece of puzzle. Let's go with 1 very risky Ultra Ball right here for 1 Skrelp. And for the knockout. So if I can hit a piece of puzzle, I'm gonna be able to grab any 2 cards that I really need. And Shaman is knocked out, which means that my damage is actually reduced by 30 more. And there we go with the Hoopa. So what I'm looking to do next turn is I'm looking to V-Seeker Lysander his Volcanion EX with 3 retreat cost on the bench. So without additional Flowstone, he's not going to be able to retreat. Right now with Professor's Letter, he can grab 2 energies, hit for like a 60. And that's definitely going to hurt. Definitely, but at least it's not going to be enough for the knockout. Where on the other side, I can maybe even V-Seeker for a Team Flare Grand. Maybe not, but probably I will stick with the Team Flare Grand because he's still depending on the top deck. And there we go with the Power Heater for 60. But even without energy as the top, yeah, definitely the best thing I guess is to use the Team Flare Grand and try to knock his Volcanion by 2 turns. So they're nice. Skrelp is a top deck, and I'm going to be a Seeker for that Team Flare Grand. There we go. More than that, a Abyssal Hand for like a 3. Okay, there is even Dragalage, and it's gonna be a Mind Jack for like 100, and next turn I can knock him out. So right now he needs to find a way to get energy. If the top deck is the energy card, he's not going to be able to knock out my Zoroark, and that's the good thing. Where on the other side I can knock out his Volcanion, and the last 2 prize cards I can get. Oh, the top deck was actually Entei probably, and it's my turn back. So let's see. I will play my Sycamore for 7 because I need to get more energy cards so I can put them in play. Well, there is 1 energy card, but more than that, nothing else. So I guess the best thing is gonna be to retreat and to use my poison, so he can be knocked out from the poison, and I can actually preserve my Zoroark to hit for like 100 plus damage. That's the only thing that I need right now. Pretty much looking forward only for Okay, so there's energy card. I guess he can just try to use the power heater and set up attacker. Where on the other side I'm gonna be able to drop a price card, and basically I need just another piece of puzzle, so I can grab pretty much maybe 2 crushing hammers. Let's see, what is the price card? It's a Zoroark number 2. Okay, so his Volcanion is knocked out, and probably Volcanion EX with 3, and no, Hoopa is gonna be in the active position. Okay, double course energy attachment, puzzle of time, for really doesn't matter for what, because I'm going to Sycamore for 7, and I'm looking for that. Okay, 2 crushing hammers. Okay, 1 heads, and what is going to be with another one? It's going to be another heads. Right now he will not be even able to attack, which means only one thing. I'm going to poison his Hooper right here and basically wait to see what he can do. So probably he's not going to be able to do too much right here. Without energy card, I mean with the energy card he can use his Volcanion EX, Volcanic hit for 130, and there's a Trainer's Mail as a top deck, so if he can get N, it's not going to be that bad. Even if he hand me down to 2 cards, oh, there's Energy Retrieval as a top deck, so as a Trainer's Mail, so even Energy Retrieval will do a good job. Getting 2 energy cards, he can power up his Volcanion, hit for the knockout, and basically hope that I'm not going to be able maybe to find a way to Lysander his Hoopa on the bench. I still need to take 2 more prize cards, and I still need to get those Puzzle of Time, so I still have opportunity to play 2 pieces of puzzles. And for the next turn, I guess my only attacker is going to be Zoroark. So there we go with Retreat, and it's going to be Volcanic hit for 130. The good thing is the Volcanion is not going to be able to play against Volcanic hit on his next turn, because that's the part of the attack. And I'm knocked out, so I guess I can Mind Jack easily for like 100. And of course I'm going to do that. Mind Jack for like 100 is what I'm going to do. Oh, look at my top deck. Look at my top deck, which is 2 pieces of puzzles. And to grab any 2 cards from my discard pile, I'm going to take 1 Dragalage and 1 Lysander for the next turn. So all I really need right now is to get rid of the cards from my hand. And even use that Abyssal Hand in case of the end. Maybe I can put anything else down to the bench. No, but I can play a Level Ball. And I can Ultra Ball my Remoraid right here, for example. Pretty much for nothing. And I'm going to hit with the Mind Jack. So Mind Jack for the 100, and if he retreat next turn I can Lysander for the 100 for the game. So let's see. I mean, probably it is GG. I mean, only thing that he can save him probably it's gonna be Volcanion, Baby, and a couple energy cards, so he can actually retreat, power up Volcanion, knock out my Zoroark, and looks like that's not gonna happen, so I can put my Dragalage, I guess, in the active. Really doesn't matter, because he can maybe in theory retreat his Entei, maybe in theory even knock out my Zoroark if he can find the Lysander to Lysander my Zoroark, which is going to be a big play right here actually, because I'm going to lose my Zoroark in this case. And actually I don't have another Dragalage, so he might even get win right here. But I think I still have Super Road left, so I can bring back Dragalages and Zoroark in deck. But more than that, if he just decide to pass his turn right now, it's a game. Definitely, because of the Lysander in my hand. If the Entei was actually 1 prize, a 1 retreat cost. Okay, so basically ally, sender, and retreat for the game right here. And it's pretty much a mind jack for another 100, and for the last the prize card, so pretty good at the end. So 2 victories in 2 games. I'm pretty happy with the deck, so really good.